Well, welcome back to Athens Off the Record. I'm your host, Cameron J., and we come to you again in partnership with our friends here at Visit Athens, Georgia. You can learn more, of course, about all the happenings happening here in the classic city at visitathensga.com. And I am so excited about today's guest, Bob Sleppy of Nuçi Space, which is a local organization making a big impact here in Athens. And they also have one of the most exciting summer camps, I hear, which we'll be talking about, as summer is the theme of season 2. So, Bob, first of all, welcome to the podcast, and thanks for going off the record.
Yeah, thank you so much, Cameron.
Yeah, I appreciate all you do. Before we dive into the summer offerings and summer in Athens, for someone who's never heard of Nuçi Space, how do you describe it, rather?
Without digging too far into our history, our main focus is suicide prevention, with a focus on the music and arts community. It was basically created in memory of a guy named Nuçi Phillips. His mom, Linda Phillips, had this idea a couple of years after he passed away, and she wanted to kind of serve the Athens community and Nuçi's fellow musicians. So, yeah, we started out as basically trying to create access to mental health care and help musicians that may have been uninsured and just didn't know where to turn. And this was 26 years ago. So
Wow.
we opened in September of 2000.
So what does a day at Nuçi Space look like? What are you offering? You say mental health services. Just curious, what does the day there look like?
That's a great question.
Probably different every day.
It is kind of different every day. I think one of the things that I'm most proud of there is that the environment that we've created. So you walk through the doors at Nuçi Space on our little patio, and there's usually people, drinking coffee, hanging out, and we have bands rehearsing sometimes. We have actually today is packed. We have musicians practicing. We have somebody in our recording studio. We had people coming in to ask about counseling and checking in with our staff. And they're right now going through like camp amp applications.
Yeah.
So it's a busy day.
Yes, very busy. Well, what, Bob, I'm curious, pulled you into this work at Nuçi Space? And how long have you been there?
I was hired in December of 1999.
So a while. Yeah.
It's been a while. Yeah. So I've been there almost half my life.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And what brought you to this?
I was a musician. I guess I still am technically a musician.
Once always, right?
Yes, I guess so. In the 90s, I moved here in 1991. I had lost a really close friend of mine from high school when I was a sophomore at UGA to suicide. And so when I heard about this idea that Linda had, I had already been involved with AthFest and other things in town. And I thought, if I could turn other musicians onto this idea and help kind of generate some interest, we could build something really special and unique. And so, I, played in a band for 10 years or so. And I met Linda in a chance encounter at a benefit show. And I sort of just volunteered my way into a job.
Wow. And you're now the executive director?
Actually, I'm the CEO.
CEO.
We made a little administrative change a couple of years ago.
Yeah. A lot of people are doing that now.
Yeah.
Yes. What makes Nuçi Space so special in a city like Athens? We've talked on this podcast so much about how much of a music center we are, but can you go into a little bit about why Athens, why now, why here?
Well, to be honest with you, I feel like it's what Nuçi Space did was create a center for people to actually, connect and meet one another and build relationships. But the people were already here, and they that helping nature of like especially the music and arts community and supporting one another was here long before we ever came along. And someone would lose an instrument or they would crash their band van, and like the community would get together and try to help. And I think what we did was really centralize all that energy and focus. And Yeah, and music and arts community, it can be somewhat of a lonely, daunting kind of career to make. And I like to think that we're at that place that people can go when they need help.
Yeah.
So
It's like I always say, or like they always say, the opposite of addiction is human connection, but so too is the opposite of loneliness.
absolutely.
Right? So it sounds like y'all certainly are creating that communal space, which is so important.
Yeah.
What do you wish people understood more about the work you do?
Ooh. Well, one of the best things I've seen over the past 26 years is kind of attitude towards mental illness and people's willingness to talk about it.
Yeah, for so long it was like a taboo topic.
It was a very taboo topic. And, even generations older than mine, they might remember when people didn't like talking about cancer, because it felt like a death sentence.
As a cancer survivor, I can say I'm glad that changed
Exactly,
over the years. Yes.
And, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. My wife is also a cancer survivor. So
it's a club no one signs up for.
No,
but
it's
we're
not.
always
It's not,
glad when
not
we
a,
make it on the other side.
Yeah, not a good club to be in. But remind me of our question.
Yeah, just what you would like for people to know that they might not.
Yeah, I just want them to know it's a space that's open to not just musicians and artists, but open to anybody.
Oh, really?
And we focus our subsidized care for mental health to musicians and artists, but anybody that walks through our doors, we will do everything we can to help them.
Wow.
So,
and that's typically at a reduced or no rate at all?
Yeah, our subsidized care is that way, but we've also made relationships all through town. We work closely with psych health associates and family counseling services and several other professional therapists, and are able to bring those rates down. And we can also act as a conduit between people that need help and the help that they can get.
And what I love about what y'all do is it's not just about preserving music culture. It's also about investing in the next generation of musicians and young people. So I'm really excited and amped, no pun intended, to talk about Camp Amped and how it came to be. So first of all, for those who are watching or listening, what is Camp Amped?
I don't know. I want to make sure that I don't unveil too much for campers because although it's disguised as a music camp, it's really about building relationships and communication and building coping skills. We just use music as kind of our medium to do that. Yeah. And it came about through, I had some UGA interns about, this will be our 20th season this summer.
Oh, wow. It's that long.
Yeah. And we just kind of talked through it and said, like, okay, well, how do we get younger kids to understand like what we're doing and be a part of it?
As it relates to mental health.
As it relates to mental health, and also just that sense of community. And so the idea was batted around as doing some sort of camp. And, like I said before, the idea of talking about suicide or mental illness even 20 years ago was very different. And we tried working with schools at first, but we just couldn't get any traction. So we were like, you know what, we'll just do it at Nuçi Space. And we have two-week sessions, June and July, with 20 kids each and about 8 instructors. Yeah, 8 or 9 instructors. And now it's grown to not just those summer sessions, but half-day sessions, after-school sessions. We also work with the Boys and Girls Club to go over the Boys and Girls Club to do that. But it's the coolest thing is, a lot of kids will start, around 11 years old, and go through that program until they're 17 or 18.
Wow.
And the relationships they build, not just with Nuçi Space, but with each other, it's really touching. And there's a lot of tears shed on their very last day.
You can't put a price on relationship building.
No, it's and the nice thing about it from the instructor's point of view is like we're basically preparing our peers. Because I look at the music scene now, and there are, I don't know how many, but there's several bands that have alumni, at least one alumni from Camp Amped.
I believe it. I believe it.
And they just have a great skill set to prepare them for that life, and they really care and nurture each other. And that's something I'm really proud of.
You mentioned age a little bit, but I'm curious, who is Camp Amp designed for? And do you see locals and people from out of town coming in for it?
Yes. When we first started, our summer sessions, our 2-week sessions were basically 11, starting at 11 and going until basically you graduate high school. So 17, 18, around there. And over time, that has gotten a little bit younger because our camps have been so popular over the years that we wanted,
not a bad problem to have.
Yeah, not a bad problem to have, but we wanted to build our capacity. So we started doing some half-day programs and after-school programs. And this, I guess, might be a third year, we started doing a program called Sound Check. And it's for kids like just starting to learn. And it also helps the kids that we work with, the Boys and Girls Club, a program called Preamped, to get ready to prepare them for, interviewing and auditioning for the 2-week camp. So it goes as early as, I want to say, 4th grade now.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Up until they graduate high school.
Yeah, 4th grade, getting them right above that literacy level.
Yeah.
Some music. I love it. What is the environment like at this camp? Someone walks in and is something going on all day? Like, what does it look like? I'm just curious. And without giving too much away, maybe what those in the past have looked like.
Yeah, and I was kind of joking about kind of pulling the cover off because, most people like to just think of it as a rock camp. And that's just fine. But I like to think of camp, or I've described it to other people, camp is sort of like the island of misfit toys.
Love it.
Because when you're in school, you're struggling to kind of find your people and your place. And when you first walk through the doors, I think people start realizing like, oh, I might not be the only one with green hair or the one that, likes this type of music. Or that
I bet
type
you
of
see
music.
people walk in shy and then leave a different person, I would think.
My favorite part of camp is we start the very first day with this thing called meet and play. And we ask everybody to take a number. Instructor usually gets number 1, but everybody gets a chance to get up on stage and like either play their instrument or just introduce themselves. And I like to describe it as sort of like a trust fall, because the whole idea is to get up on stage and kind of let your guard down and let everybody in the audience and in the room like lift you up and cheer for you and give you support. And that's how we start camp. And it can be, I actually did it when I was 45, 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I got up on stage and did that, and I was scared out of my mind.
Yeah.
I felt like
as am I at the start of every one of these.
I felt like I was in middle school all over again, so I know firsthand what it feels like to have everybody like clap for you and tell you good job. It lets you realize like you're not alone in that moment.
What feedback have you heard from parents and families about this impact?
We've been very fortunate as far as people, parents, and even alumni, just telling us how important camp was to their kid or even their own kind of pathway. We've actually, one of my kind of proudest moments is, it's been several years now, but when I got to hire alumni to be instructors.
Full circle moment.
Yeah, very full circle moment. And now, we're starting to see the kids of former campers starting to come. And that's
aging them a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe.
that's a little mind blowing to see somebody's kid that went to camp coming to camp. So
yeah, that's a testament to the work.
Yeah,
certainly.
The instructors that we have there are all working musicians here in Athens, and they're great role models. They're great mentors, and a lot of those relationships go way beyond them graduating camp. Like they continue to stay in touch.
And you mentioned people not just in Athens are finding out about this, right?
Yeah, we've had people come from North Carolina that stayed with their grandparents when they go to camp. And one thing that we're really excited about, not just for camp, but for Nuçi Space as a whole, we're starting to look at other communities that we can help them.
Wonderful.
Kind of duplicate our model. And so that's a big thing that we're working on right now.
When something works well, duplicate it and replicate it and
or
make
just,
it better.
Yeah, just find communities that can kind of embrace that and build upon it.
Well, Bob, what I love is that Athens raises musicians, yes, but we support them too. And that's so important. And I think it's especially important during the summer months. As we all know, Athens changes a lot during the summer. Let's high level this, pull back a little bit. What do you, Bob, find different about Athens in the summer, minus the traffic and parking being better?
Yeah, I've definitely seen that. This coming May will be my 35th year in Athens. And it's one thing that's a lot different is back then, summers we were kind of dormant and very quiet. And it's not so much the case anymore.
Students like to stay.
Yeah, and the town's getting bigger.
Yeah.
Besides the heat, which is not my favorite part.
Not mine either.
Best part is we have lots of trees.
Yes.
But I like the energy shifts in the town a little bit. It sort of like feels like an exhale a little bit. Like, okay, we can, kind of slow our pace down a little bit. And there's so many things that occur during the summer that, you can engage in and, throughout the rest of the year, you might be really busy doing things or whatever. And like I said, you can kind of exhale and, go to some really great events and connect with people. So.
Yeah, there's something for everyone here.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
what I always say. Do you think Athens' creativity rises in the summer? Have you ever seen any indication of that?
I definitely know as a musician, when I first came here, it was a time for us to like write and tour and introduce yourself to like new audiences because people are more likely to go out during the summertime. And I'm not sure if it becomes more creative, but I think you create more opportunities to be creative.
Yeah. Do y'all get busier during the summer?
We get with camp now. Almost our entire summer is camps.
Right. Yeah.
So that's how we. That's kind of how we spend our summers.
Got it. Yeah. What have you learned that young people need the most in creative spaces?
Ooh, I think connection is probably the most important. During our discussion, we started talking about camp and building that is like we all commiserated around the idea of kind of middle school just stinks no matter where you go.
I don't like looking back at those middle school yearbook photos.
No, and it's a time where you're changing, your body's changing, and you're just trying to find out where you fit in the world. And I really think young folks being able to find their place and experiment with that, I think is really an important piece of the puzzle that we try to help with,
especially in a world that's telling you to compare yourself to others or look this way or look that way.
Well, absolutely, and especially like musicians and artists, you put yourself out there. Not only are you trying to figure it out, but you're putting yourself on stage and going, "Look at me," or you're creating art that you want people to come see.
And there's all that comes with that, right? Rejection, maybe,
absolutely.
Or nobody showing up or this or that, a variety of things.
Yeah. So that connection is really important because, you go through those kind of ebbs and flows of life, and it's nice to celebrate with people. And it's also nice to kind of get through the rough times with other people.
Yeah. Let's talk about music too. I am a pianist and singer myself. Cool. I play better than I sing. I'll say that. But I have found in so many times in my life, especially the sickness, that, music is a healing thing. And so I'm curious how you've seen music, heal people in this community as well.
Yeah.
Or what that means to you even.
Yeah. I think for me personally, music I use as a vehicle to, amplify my feelings. Sometimes like when I am in a bad mood or, I don't know if I want to say angry, but like I play the drums. So
heck yeah.
I like to go beat on some drums.
Yes.
And
better outlet, right?
Yeah. And if I'm sad, I like to listen to sad music and I use it as a way sort of to kind of regulate where I am at that moment in time. And I think for the people that come to Nuçi space, it's great to know that like when they come rehearse or they come into camp or whatever they do, they kind of put their guard down for that small amount of time that they're there, and they can just kind of get lost in what they're doing. And so it kind of gives you a little bit of a break to
An escape.
Yeah, an escape to just be like, all right, I'm going to focus on this for the next couple hours.
Yeah, that is exactly what I do after a long day. It's stop at the piano first.
Yeah.
Especially on a bad day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. What about a story or moment that let you know this work matters that comes to your mind? You know, just looking back over since 1990.
Yeah, 99.
99?
Yeah.
You've seen a lot of people come through. Is there a story that sticks out to you about this, like that says this is why we do what we do?
Ooh. Well, the first one that pops in mind is probably sort of a kind of tied to our fundraising in a way. But when we first opened, we were writing out grant applications and writing letters for support. And
I come from a development world, not
yes,
always.
So nobody knew who we were, and we were just trying to build our reputation. And I won't say the name of the company, but it's a large company out of Atlanta. And we wrote like a grant proposal for them, and envelope came in the mail, and actually there's 2 pieces of mail. And of course I saw the name of this company. I ripped open that one. I was like gonna think it's like this huge check, and I was super excited. And long story short, the letter said like although we appreciate your work, we
the letdown letter.
Yeah, we can't fund you. So that was disappointing. But I opened up the second letter, and it was from a 12-year-old girl who had lost her older brother to suicide. And she had done like, I don't know, it's a bit like maybe a bake sale or something. And she put, $13 or $14 in this envelope and sent it to us. And from that moment on, I realized like, that's how we're going to do this. And it's great that if we get support from a large corporation or a large donor, those are great, but just connecting with people at that level of somebody that's lost somebody to suicide or struggling with mental illness or just needs support, that they understand like that's why we're there.
Yeah.
And so that's probably the thing that pops in my head.
Everybody needs someone, and everybody, deserves someone as a listening ear too. I want to now, Bob, again, we're going to zoom back out. If someone's coming to Athens in the summer and they were wanting to experience our music, what would you recommend?
Ooh, well, the great thing about Athens, not just in summertime, but all year round, is that there's great live music
so
here
much, and a diversity of
all
music.
the time. And being able to go to a show at the 40 Watt, an iconic venue that's not just popular in Athens but all over the world. Places like Flickr and so many. Cine, our art cinema, does shows.
Love Cine.
It's a great place.
Great place to catch a movie.
Yeah, and no matter what day of the week that you're in town, you're going to find something that's going on. And the thing that's really special, I think, about the summer is we have our Music and Arts Festival, Athfest.
Yes. And I'm assuming y'all probably have a big role in that in some way.
We are funded through their Athfest Educates program. And I actually was part of the group that helped start Athfest.
Look at there, another full circle moment for us.
Yeah. So my heart is definitely in that program. I always wish that we'd move it to a little bit cooler part of the
Well, that's what I say about Pride. We really chose the hottest month to throw a brick,
Yeah, but it's a great time to like see a lot of bands in a relatively short period of time. So if you don't go out a whole lot, it's like one of the perfect times to like catch a lot of different bands. And and that's just music. There's you have the Georgia Museum of Art, you have Attica, and there's so many other galleries in town. So you can be surrounded by it. And and actually Athens has some great church musicians too. So
we do.
You can find it you can find it anywhere.
If you stand downtown, you can hear the Methodist Church, the African Methodist Episcopal Church, and First Christian rolling out into the streets. It's actually really beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great town for anything creative.
Yeah. What would you tell someone if there's one place that's obscure but they need to go to see the creative spirit of Athens? Where is that?
Ooh, geez, that's a
tough
question.
one. I know
that is a tough one. I don't want this to come as a cop out, but I really, downtown Athens is kind of like a gem for any city to have. And I think we sometimes take it for granted that how fortunate we are to have a downtown area like we do. So I would just say, like, taking a stroll downtown and listening to street musicians and, seeing, different art that's in, because a lot of local businesses will support artists by letting them hang their art on the walls. Yep. Like you just said about church musician, you're hearing church come from everywhere. So I would just take a stroll through downtown.
Yes.
And kind of soak all that in.
You'll see something different on every block. And the important thing about downtown that is important for tourists to know is we will soon have a renovated College Square.
I'm very much looking forward to that. That's going to be
very beautiful. So we're really excited to welcome you all for that. Let's see. Let's talk about some of your favorite things to do in the summer. What is your favorite place to find a summer treat in Athens?
My daughter, I have a 17-year-old daughter. She turned me on to, Kilwins downtown for like sweet treats.
Yes.
I've only been there a couple times, but that was really, really
sweet
good.
Treat's always a good treat.
Absolutely. And it's easy to talk me into.
Yes, yes. What about a place you find to cool down in Athens in summer?
We have some incredible parks here.
We do. Yes.
We live, my family lives maybe a couple blocks from Bishop Park. So
one of my favorites, yeah.
We go to Bishop Park quite often, and there's always people there. There's a big open field to play, soccer or football or whatever, and we have some beautiful neighborhoods to just walk through.
We really do, yeah.
And so, yeah.
On the parks front, Sandy Creek Nature Center, really good.
Absolutely.
Ben Burton Park with the running water,
absolutely,
so peaceful. You'll have to check those out.
Yeah, we're very fortunate in a lot of ways for being such a small county that we have a lot of amenities that other cities just don't have.
Fun fact, the smallest county in the state of Georgia by land mass.
Yep.
All right. Well, what about your favorite summer ritual that you always look forward to?
Ooh.
For me, it's a kayak down the Oconee River.
Okay, that's a good one. I've done that a few times.
It's a long journey.
Yeah, I think you could do I've been on either like the 2-hour or you can choose a 3-hour one. I've always kind of opted for the 2-hour
I do the 3
one.
And it takes 5 for me.
That's hilarious. I love going to Wuxtry or Low Yo-Yo record stores. And I could literally spend hours just flipping through records.
So many.
It's, in a lot of ways, people are listening to records a lot less than they did when I was younger. But it's starting to have this resurgence, or it's had this resurgence for a while. And I could spend hours in those stores just flipping through records.
Whoever gets them organized, more power to them.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's bring it back home now. Zoom back in on to Nuçi space. And my big thing is, what do you want people to know overarchingly about you and your mission there?
Once again, that, our focus is suicide prevention with a particular focus on musicians and artists, but we're not limited to just helping people in those communities. We're open to the entire community. And we want to be a part of that system and that network to help folks. Advantage Behavioral is also a great resource. And, I already mentioned family counseling and folks like that, the Cottage, Project Safe. So I think just knowing that we're a place that you can come to for support, and even just walking through the door and sitting on the couch and grabbing a cup of coffee, like, that's just as cool as anything else.
Yeah. You don't have to play a set or anything either.
No.
Yeah.
And so I think just we like to think that we can capture that energy that Athens has in our small little space, and and there's a lot of history in our little part of town too.
Yeah, can you talk really quickly about the history of the building you're in, actually?
Yeah, when we found the building back in, I think, 98 is when we first found the building. It had been abandoned for like 15 years. And we went to the owner, and the same week that we put an offer in the building, someone else put an offer in the building on the building, and their bid was a lot higher than ours. But Linda spoke with the owner of it, and he was really touched by what we did, and ended up selling it to us.
That's amazing.
I always joke with Linda. Unfortunately, Linda passed in 2021, and she had no idea that what a lot of people refer to as the REM steeple, but it's also the St. Mary's Church steeple, is right behind us.
Yeah.
So when she bought the building, she didn't even know any of the history behind it. So it just kind of lucked out that. So where REM played their first show on April 5th of 1980, there's a steeple that sits right behind Nuçi Space, and the only steeple remains now, but the church used to be there, and so we definitely kind of feel like we're on a historic.
It's pretty
land.
Remarkable.
Yeah.
Uniquely Athens, of course, but it's a great thing for you to say, look for the steeple.
Yeah.
Look for the steeple.
Yeah. And
and there you'll find the people, if I'm going to rhyme.
There you go. There you
go. Last thing, Bob, first of all, thank you so much for what you do as a musician. Myself, as someone who has had my own mental health struggles, I am so grateful for the work you all do, and want to give you the opportunity to let people watching know where they can learn more and where they can support. Because while grants are a thing, sponsors are a thing, those small dollar donors I know make just as much of a difference. So tell people where to connect.
Yeah, you can go to our website. It's nuci.org, nuci.org. There's a ton of information on there about all our programs and services, what we offer. If you are looking for something to do this summer, we have camp finales. There's, I wish I knew the exact dates off the top of my head, but there's one in June and one in July. Those are amazing opportunities to see some like up and coming kids play. And yeah, we'll take volunteers, we'll take donations, just the kind of connecting to that energy and spirit of the building, I think is as valuable as anything that we get.
Yeah, and that website again was?
nuci.org and nuci.org.
nuci.org. All right, Bob, we are rounding it out here. We have a group of 3 rapid fire questions that we ask everyone. They're pretty easy, I think.
Okay.
But the first one is your favorite Athens hidden gem.
I'm not sure how hidden it is, but like I said, one of my favorite activities is going to Wuxtry.
Yeah.
And it's right downtown, but
there's a lot hidden within it.
There's a lot hidden within it. There's some great local music, and you can find some hidden gems as far as records go inside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What about your favorite Athens event that you never miss?
Ooh, definitely AthFest. Our friend Timmy runs Wild Rumpus.
Yep.
And Porch Fest is awesome.
And Porch Fest is newer too. Fun. Very fun.
Yeah. So I didn't get to go to the Jam for Cam this year, but I read the newspaper articles.
What a crowd.
Yeah. That might be something I have to check out.
1.2 million raised. So maybe we can learn a lesson.
Yeah.
The last one is your top Athens memory. I know you probably have a lot.
I think personally for me, it was when my wife and I bought our house in Normaltown, because it was, although I had lived here for several years, I really felt like, okay, this is where I chose to put my roots down. And I felt more so a part of the community than ever before, is that I had, I had found my people.
Yeah. Well, your people have found you too down at Nuçi Space. Bob, thank you again for all the work you do.
Thank you.
Remember, you can learn more at nucis.org, and you can learn about everything happening here in the Classic City by visiting our friends at Visit Athens online at visitathensga.com. You can also follow us on socials at Visit Athens GA. We look forward to seeing you back here really soon. I'm Cameron J. Take care, everybody.